All right, we're back, and this time it's for real, Neo. We're getting ready to jump into this last best of 3 of the day. Kyrgyzstan versus Kazakhstan, and it's kicking off on Mirage.
Yeah, these should be exciting, and we can now get excited because we have our confirm. Everyone's in the lobby. People are running around. People are, the ping seems good. There's no issues. That's fine. I think we had one person struggling to get in, whether it was ping or whatever it was. Now they are. We're fine. We're ready to get underway. Mirage is ready to kickstart. This should be a pretty cool series to kind of, actually in a way, like tighten countries in this region. With only one spot available, it is very much all to play for. With these two being arguably the strongest in Central Asia as well, we've kind of already built it up that arguably you could say that winner of this best of 3 should win out the qualifier as well. It's not guaranteed, but that's just kind of how things play. We'll be keeping tabs as well on the other game that's happening simultaneously. So we'll keep some tabs on towards that one. But for now, we're looking forward to this. I think simultaneously it's going to be Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan playing. I'm waiting. I'm refreshing the page to see when their veto gets confirmed. It's not been just yet. It's still pending. That's also a pretty cool one. That might, Uzbekistan were in the Open tournament last year. They're a pretty strong region. Counter-Strike talent, maybe they might have a bit of a sleeper team, but I think you're all right. I think this might just decide a winner of this. Only has realistically maybe even one more best of 3 to win, and then you can kind of do it on round difference depending on all of the rest. So could be a big one. I don't see too many upsets happening, not in this sense. So yeah, we will be heading on the way into the game. Mirage will kickstart things. All eyes are on Kazakhstan. Very, very stacked roster. Big name individuals on this team. And heading towards Mount Mirage, we are a little bit hesitant though, because picking puggy maps is inherently quite risky.
Yeah, and just to really add on to the point about Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan, there is one player on the Uzbek lineup that I am familiar with. That's Nastia. She's played in some catch cups and a few qualifiers and things, so they have some level of experience in terms of players that have played EU before. But the rest of the team, very young squad, so yeah, definitely a chance for them to do something. But yeah, we're looking at these two teams to be the big names in this region, and Mirage, yeah, it's one that you don't expect I don't know, there's kind of like two theories of thought here. Do you pick a map that you're most comfortable on and give the chance of a more puggy team to potentially take you down, or do you try and upset them? And I think a lot of people would argue better just to pick the map you're comfortable on, even if it is a puggier one.
Yeah, do you risk laying down the gauntlet? I don't know. At the start, though, going to go towards A. Smoke going to come over, and now they're about to hit this one in towards Ninja.
Amy, actually not the one that gets the first kill. It's Jammy. But MJ the Queen gets the kill back immediately. Amy over top of the smoke, able to get one. Now she has to be dealt with because they wanted to go for an open plant. Mew will find it. So a 3-on-3. Linka does have the kit and smoke, so the retake's certainly doable. And in fact, smoke kit, so strong on Mirage in particular. And that's a really nice shot from Katosi. That's completely removed Pochia, so now it's just these players towards Connector and Jungle. Mew given the open fight. Is someone going to deploy this smoke? It had to be thrown out then. Katosi's going to pick it up, throw it forward, needs to get that kit as well. And they can start this defuse. Katosi, maybe they don't even need to if they just hit the headshots. I don't know if she's got... Yeah, no, she's got enough time. Plenty of time.
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
Oh,
They got the kit anyway.
yeah. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh
my God, no! I can't believe
I didn't
it.
think that. I think the 10-second timer started when she tapped the bomb.
Yeah, I
Like just
think
before she
you're
tapped
right.
the bomb.
The only thing is the time. It depends how close she got on. I wasn't actually counting in my head, but the actual time of the noise it makes is actually 11 seconds. It was like 10.8 seconds. So I feel like she would have been alright.
Yeah, especially because she got off and then the other person got on. It's like 5 seconds. Yeah, I feel like she'd already been on there for like half of it.
Yeah, she got off at like 4.8. So I feel like at that point you just stick anyway.
And that was the amount of time they needed, like 0.2 seconds. Anyway, they are going to buy into it with all the MP9s, but it's fast through short with the Mac 10s, and they're just scaling it over the top. Miyu knocks one down. And that's a disappointing start for Kyrgyzstan, who should have won that pistol round. Maybe they can still fight back into this one, especially if Amy catches off a second player. Pocha, though, collects one. Miyu as well. This one will certainly be confirmed momentarily. 2-0 start. That's going to sting for Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah, that's not going to help at all. And not enough. A lot of kills for the Mac 10s as well means plenty of money in the pocket. Now, Lucy, I have a thing which is my pet peeve in Counter-Strike, and I'm interested to get your opinion on it. I kind of always ask everybody I work with. So I have a pet peeve, which I don't like teams force buying on the CT side when they lose. Now, I understand why you do it. You force buy, even if you lose, in your next gun round, you get a better buy, right? You get the full rifles, you get the U2 and the rest. However, the success rate I find to be pretty low. So for the next 6 months, for the rest of the season, I'm keeping a tally. And so far from the Asian region, we've had 10 in total, including that one. 7 failed, 3 successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can give you my take. I think it's contextual. Actually, hold up. Let's just see how this goes, and I'll give you the reason it's contextual. Okay, that's a farm. Actually, the USPs have gotten a couple of kills. But a 1v2 now. MJ Queen very low. So suddenly gets a bit interesting. Maybe you just want to save the Galil. Just going to hop up into jungle. She can catch a timing kill on a player that's in rotation or moving over to CT, but she misses that opportunity. With time ticking, health low, nothing being presented, she can save that Galil. So now I can tell you why I think it's contextual.
Well,
I think it was actually fine in this case because it came down. Everyone died on the T side. In fact, it was a 2v0 that they lost. So I think in that situation where you have removed all the Ts and they have to fully invest across, I would say 4 to 5 players, it's almost always worth doing it because of the opportunity cost. But if you're just doing it after losing the round and you didn't inflict significant economic damage, it's not worth it because you're going to allow the Ts to build up a massive economy. So
yeah, that
would be my nuanced take on it. If that is nuanced, I would say if only 1 or no Ts survive, it's worth it.
How about if it's just, the Ts come in, they get a bomb down, they win the round with 3 alive, but then CTs force, which seems to be relatively common. What's your thoughts on that side?
I'd only do it if it'd depend on the map and your confidence in your force buys, really. Okay. I think Mirage can be a tricky one because the pistols, except for the Deagle, are kind of mid on this map. But on Anubis, for instance, I think there's a lot you can get done with upgraded pistols. Pocha gets a lot done in this round. That AWP gets an opener, and that's a sick kill onto Jammy. The Galil catches one top connector. 2 players removed immediately. It's that explosiveness that suspected we'd see from this squad. Although, nice little timing peek from jungle. Pocha's holding for this eventual short swing, and there it is. Definitely the player to be keeping an eye on. 4v2 as bomb is planted.
Okay. Not impossible on the retake, but still, it's pretty difficult. And that's not going to help at all. MJ the Queen going to find 1 more, leaving it all down to 1. Big R skip. That's the first. Not quite the second. The trade comes through. And that'll be 4-0. A very quick 4-0 start for Kazakhstan. They are playing this quite puggy. They are, with this pick and tools Mirage, you're taking the inherent risk of a super aggro map, but they're laying down the gauntlet very early doors and wanting to take fights. They want to play this sort of puggy nature against Kyrgyzstan, and right now it is working wonderfully. And it's a map in which, for Mirage, I always feel, while it is risky, I think it's a good litmus test to just see how crisp you're feeling. Maybe not as much in terms of the strats, but just in terms of raw aim, who's really feeling it in the server. And obviously this is good. MJ the Queen's a nice shot, and the AWP in towards me, going to add 1 more. Beautiful mid-take.
Yeah, the individuals are incredibly strong on this team. And I'm really excited to see them continue to play. This is a force buy, but it's essentially over. Amy gets to fire off her AWP once. She's got nowhere to go. The walls are closing in. The walls are armed with AK-47s. She's armed with an AWP. She's managed to get one and actually slink into the back of B. Avoiding HEs. Players are low, but that's not going to matter. And eventually, she will get caught.
Yeah, nice work. I mean, MJ the Queen looking pretty crisp on the AK as well. Good to see. And as expected, Kyan on the orb looking crisp as all hell as well. This is what we want to see from this Kazakhstan side who've come in towards this map. And yeah, you know, they're really just backing themselves so far. There's no real complaints. I think for Kyrgyzstan, there's two ways you try and fight against this. You either fight fire with fire and get super aggro, try and outpug them. I think right now, I would say no. I actually want to see them take a little bit of a step back, whether that's potentially even relinquishing mid-control, as risky as it sounds, just to give yourself a little bit of a chance to play together as a group, not get isolated. Speaking of, the Deagle will be the first one to fall. A trade comes through, but answered right back.
Still a player in the backside, but it's just jammy with a USB, so expectations low. And, you know, we talked about Mirage being a risk, but I think with the level of Counter-Strike they're bringing, it becomes a bit less risky. We can talk about the kind of recent results for One Wing Gang on this team, just because we have that duo that are here.
Yeah.
And they essentially only lost it to two teams. Enigma Galaxy, fair enough. And Fearless Cheaters, also kind of fair enough.
Yeah.
Because that's like the one map that Fearless Cheaters beat everyone on. So overall, you know, their wins against NIP, against VP, against Let Her Cook, who ended up getting to the season 5 finals of ESL Impact. So that was only very recent that One Wing Gang beat them 2-0. So the individuals certainly there, and they continue to be so. Again, another buy round brought low early with 2 opening kills.
Wow. Okay. Kazakhstan are not pulling any punches right now. Towards short. There's one there. Swing. Gets damage and not enough for the kill. MJ the Queen so lucky to be alive on 2 points of HP. But now a 5v2. I don't think this round's got any legs behind it if you're Kyrgyzstan.
No. I can tell you right now it doesn't. Oh, maybe it does. There's a timing. And Amy, oh, she actually gets the double. I thought she was only going to get the one for a second, and it set up Malinka for the clutch. But this crossfire should be more than enough to deal with her, especially with the information as to her position, and she's just playing in the dark. Smoke will be a little bit annoying for them to deal with, and she spotted one. The swing, she's given the kill. And now, a chance, she gets it! A 2v5. Absurdity to get Kyrgyzstan on the board.
I cannot believe that's the round they convert. I cannot believe it. They've just overfought their Kazakhstan. A little bit too confident, audacious, overconfident in these fights, and they just give it away. Credit, though, on the other side for Kyrgyzstan. They didn't give up. I mean, even giving it a go is wild in the 2 versus 5. Credit to them, but they got nothing to lose. You know, the 6-0 down already, on track to being 7 at that point. You may as well take a gamble, take a risk, pardon me, and it's worked. So I have no complaints. That's a wild one to even attempt. And the fact that it's worked will absolutely maybe not put a spanner in the works, but at least kind of say to Kazakhstan, right, let's relax a little bit. Let's not get too confident. Yes, it's been a really solid start. It's been, for the most part, actually pretty easy. Don't get too confident, though. Don't get too comfortable and kind of really, yes, oversee what is potentially kind of still a scary side in that of Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah, the fact that Amy gets the double there, plays the trigger discipline to secure 2 and give them the chance is everything. Sets up Malinka for, well, essentially is a 1v3 at that stage. Kazakhstan have found the space. They just get all of mid for free and they walk through connector, aim, duel their way in, and they win every fight. So it's back to regular scheduled programming for this team. MJ the Queen's hearing the runaway through kitchen as well, so she'll be in fast pursuit. They might not even get to save these 2 weapons. And I think that kind of comes down to like the way they play that round out. It's this temporary setting from Kazakhstan has them playing very afraid. They don't want to take these fights in mid early because they've been losing them, and that's allowing all this free real estate for the T side.
Yeah, no, exactly. Over fight there, we'll give one over. I mean, do you need to hunt? Maybe not, but actually, it doesn't really matter. There's so much money. Yeah, so much money. But big thing is for me, don't lose the orb. It's not even really worth it. Everyone else, maybe I can kind of give some leeway to. An AK, is all that really Kyrgyzstan are going to have to work with in the next round. Money is in a bit of a rotten state. Pop shots, I like the idea. Not going to happen, though. And actually, the kill might come here to declare under. Yes, and effectively. So no save, no AK, no gain, and Kazakhstan right back to winning ways. Quick. Seriously quick some of these rounds as well. I mean, Kazakhstan are getting the bomb down. They're taking first fights. I mean, they're taking first fights in like sub 15 seconds, and they're getting the bomb down usually before you've even hit the minute mark. I mean, credit to them. They know that this quicker tempo and kind of backing themselves in the Angels, playing as a bit of a pack, this trading mentality is just working so effectively, and it's the age-old thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that's what's happening right now. And this one might be a quicker play towards B.
If it ain't broke, rush B. That's the other adage.
Always yeah.
They're going to give it a red hot go and adjust the pistol at the backside. The crossfire of Deagles. Oh, nice shot from Malika. She hits a second. Ooh. Can't quite adjust onto 3, but she's given a chance for Kyrgyzstan in this round. You can see that 3B is coming through as well. Crosshair was almost on the mark, and a fast flank with the 5-7. Edging forward, Miyu will remove 1. So it's going to allow them to lock down these other angles, and it doesn't get any further out of hand. But some nice shots with the Deagle.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of a silver lining. Also, as well, just a note, I mean, MJ the Queen in that round, good kind of understanding of the economic state over towards Kyrgyzstan. 8.3k, but investing towards a Mach 10 as the one to lead out the charge. Gets that opening kill as well. Jumping in towards the site. Hacking yourself, nice and simple. The Deagle, very, very nearly got the third. And if it had got the third, we're maybe discussing about the round slipping away, but not to be. 8-1. We've been going for, from my calculations, about 9 minutes. So these are quick. These are very quick rounds.
And if it ain't broke, guess what, Nair? You don't need to fix it.
I've heard that one before.
In the side. Jamie will get 1 just spamming as the smoke lands on windows. So they do actually have the player advantage as the bomb goes down. And you feel like this retake is 100% happening. They need the rounds. And Katosi once again quickly on the flank. Pocha plucks 1 from short. Linka's got the AWP in her hands, trying to peer over the top to get something back. And Katosi hinges on her, finding the timing, and she catches it. Pocha falls, a 2-on-4. Eviero at the back of the site. Miyu hits 1 with the Mach 10, and they manage to equalize for a moment. But it comes down to Iberia at the back of bench, getting spammed. It's not quite making its way through. She'll get 1, but that's not going to be enough. There's a kit on Jamie, and it will be a second on the board for Kyrgyzstan.
Good round from Kyrgyzstan. It's close, nice. Actually. My God, yeah. Got 0.23 of a second there, maybe, but gets it all the same. That's all that matters. So, I mean, Kazakhstan is still trying to play this quick, and it's working in at least the early round, guaranteed. It's actually just the mid to late round where maybe there's a bit of a conversation there. And, of course, in that situation, absolutely was the case. Good retake. Jamie showing her prowess and a second on the board. It's still, at least for kind of my money, we need to see at least Kyrgyzstan get up towards 4 if they want to make this competitive. I worry about when Kazakhstan going towards our CT side that they'll just be relentlessly aggressive again. Still bring the fight. Still bring the pain. Nice finding towards mid. Amy gets caught.
Well, so does Miyu as she throws the molly to allow Ivera to continue scaling. I don't think the angle allowed for the trade back, so actually favors the CT re-aggressing from short. Tracy wants to take another look, but the Molotov's keeping her at bay. Pocha peers through the connector. Smoke deep at the moment. Gonna peek onto the short angle, and Katosi dodges the bullet on the swing. So a third possible. Not a banana. Not had to say her name too much, and I know that because it's an exciting one to say. Had fun saying it, so I hope I get to say it some more. She's opened up this round for them.
Ooh, Molotov really dealing a fair decent amount of damage there. Versus 3. Both sides are players who are tagged. One of them being the AWP, so maybe not the end of the world. The other one being on a banana. MJ, crisp. That crosshair is perfectly placed.
MJ to Queen falls. Line of banana, still a threat. Still a menace. Could be the one that ends the dreams. Spam through from her will remove Jamie. And it's all out of banana, baby. She does eventually fall. She's done enough. The time is gone. And despite some good opening engagements where for a moment it was that 4-on-3, Kyrgyzstan can't quite convert it.
9 is already so good. I mean, this is a map in which statistically is the third most CT-sided map in the pool. He's currently putting 9 rounds on T-side. It just shows how dominant these guys are. One last round. And maybe a bit of a hope and a prayer to get a 9-3, but for Kyrgyzstan, it still feels like a big ask. It's been a pretty scrappy game, but in the chaos and the carnage, that's where Kazakhstan are doing their best work. Look at this, though. A little bit of a lower pop. Has this been heard? It has, but not effectively held for. So, Miyu going to get caught.
Yeah, nice change of where the aggression was coming because these fights in middle weren't quite working out, so they go elsewhere. But that's an overextension. That's unnecessary. You have the 5-on-4. Don't need to look for the space elsewhere. But Jamie able to get a double back. She's under pressure from both sides. It's messy and it leaves it to Pocha. A moment for her to step up, but she can't quite deliver. Malinka goes up to ticket, knocks her down. And finally, a third round for Kyrgyzstan. But 3 doesn't feel like enough on this CT side.
I think you're right. It's going to require fireworks on towards the seaside is the way I'll put it. A pistol round, necessity. First gun round when it comes through as well, also a necessity as well. They have to chain some real decent momentum together. We need to see, in the same way that kind of Kazakhstan took the momentum, got the wind in their sails and really rolled through, we've got to see the same thing happen from Kyrgyzstan. And arguably, it's going to come back into this even more dominantly just because they're not only playing from such a big deficit, but they're playing against a side who are uber confident. They're so happy to fight them. They've got to try and find a way to break their spirits a little bit. It's going to be tough, though. I mean, Kazakhstan, they look brilliant. Nothing seems to be really going wrong, bar potentially over fighting, which is maybe where Kyrgyzstan can utilize things in their favor. But, I mean, I don't even really blame them for over fighting. When you're 9-3 up, I mean, why wouldn't you, right? So, yeah, I'm like what I'm saying. Well, Kazakhstan, you know, they came in as the favorites, and we were maybe a little bit concerned about that Mirage pick, Lucy. It's so far so good.
Yeah, not concerned. You know, you say it's over fighting, but also I think just with the trade spacing, it's been so on point that it doesn't matter if they overextend because there's always someone there to trade. Kyrgyzstan going to go fast to B. That's going to be their pistol strat, and Amy first kills her, second as well. So the speed into B looks to be the solution for them. Pocha on the flank gets a nice kill onto Jamie. She can now be a nuisance from the apartments, and you know that's not going to deter them, but Malinka drops the kit. Now she can move forward. 2-on-3. Katosi repositions to avoid Pocha, who falls out the window or over the ledge and straight into the crossfire. So Kyrgyzstan will get the pistol, continue to stay alive at Mirage.
Yeah, you know, in that one, they kind of do just fight fire with fire. They say, right, you've been going aggressive against us. We're going to do exactly the same. Straight in towards the B site. An age-old classic call out of the pistol, but it worked. And that's all that we asked for. Nice and good. And now we look towards what I'm saying, right? We see pistol round taken. This round's basically a bit of a gimme anyway. So 9-5, hit the first gun round. Then we talk about 9-6, potentially even 9-7. That's how you can spiral kind of a half back in your favor. So for Kyrgyzstan, good. That was step one of the recovery, the comeback plan put in action and ticked off. And now we've got 2 or 3 more to then open the door for the conversation about this comeback. It's still a pretty big margin of a deficit. 5 rounds, but not too bad. In towards mid. Jammy. 3 at the end. Nice and easy. That one, we don't really need to read too highly in it. It's this next round which is super important.
Yeah, that one's pretty straightforward. But if Kyrgyzstan can win this one, you know, it goes from what was essentially a one-sided stomp to a 2-round game, almost. You know, you win this first gun round on the T side, it's almost worth 2 rounds because Kazakhstan will then be on kind of this halfy bye.
Yep.
There's a way.
At the Copium.
Yeah, someone has to be on it.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're cooking with this one. I think you're onto something because it is right. I mean, it is there, and hence why Kazakhstan have gone for attack pause before coming into this round for exactly that reason. I think they realized as well. I was like, okay, we're a very good first half. Let's not let this slip away for no reason.
look at the kill distribution. The Kyrgyzstan players are actually really stepping up now. It's not just Jammy, which was my concern coming into this series, that it would be kind of the Jammy show and she wouldn't have that support. Similar to what we saw with Argent earlier, but it's actually the whole team. I know there are a few kills each behind the Kazakhstan players, but they're 4 rounds behind as well. And so I think when it comes to the actual duels, it's not that far off the mark. So there's definitely a world, and when you got to play like Jammy on the team who can bring that level of calm from the experience she has, there's definitely a way for them into this. A split onto B might be the way they go. Pocha, though, gets one through the smoke. I'm not even sure where that happened. I think she shot from a site over the top of a smoke and got a player in short.
You love to see it. Well, you hate to see it, depending on who you are, but for Kazakhstan, they're more than happy. They'll take it. Having that AWP that can do God's work like that is huge. And this flank as well, Amy never expecting out of this timing. Jamie going to find one. She wraps back in towards spawn, and then that's where Kyrgyzstan just called. They pumped the brakes, and they've been gifted fights.
Katosi catches that lurk and just waits for Mia's extension. So that's that round as promised. Despite Kazakhstan getting the opening kill as well from Pocha, it looked like that was then their position. They kind of had the setup, but they were very disconnected. And I think that was the big issue there. And that's now done exactly what I said. They're broken. They're onto the half fight. Kyrgyzstan is still in this.
Yeah, 2 kills as well in towards shore, where you just sit in towards ladder room, you wait with a Mac 10 and wait for them to push you, and you're gifted the kills. That's, yeah, a little damning. And that's maybe where there's a few pitfalls in towards this Kazakhstan setup and idea, at least for the moment. Hot down Pop shotting with a P250, hoping to get basic information more than anything. Oh, yeah, a bit of a lesser buy here. You know, you upgraded pistols, half armor, nothing too audacious in terms of an overinvestment, but we're looking at it and saying probably Kyrgyzstan should take this not in too much of a tough fashion, and then they're only 2 rounds in. That's reaching distance right there.
Don't let this one get away from you, though. This is your gift to bring this within 2 rounds. And a couple of kills going the way of the pistols can make this scary. Amy is able to get that kill back into Pocha, who really wanted that gun, but maybe gets a little bit too eager. But Miyu, she picked up the rifle and she pushed all the way through.
No.
That flank is everything. She gets the kill, I think, in apartments and continued pushing all the way to wrap top middle. That is devastating for Kyrgyzstan.
I cannot believe that timing was exquisite. Could not have been better. Fair play. Fair play indeed.
I thought Pocha was kind of throwing it there by jumping through the smoke, getting that AK. But that time delay, her doing that, is enough to allow Miyu to get there in time. Yeah,
absolutely. It's the old human flashbang, the distraction. And it works. And that's now once again put Kazakhstan in another super strong position. 10-6, a 4-round buffer. They're only 3 rounds away from taking their map. And, you know, finally getting their first run on the board on this CT side will just spur them on in terms of confidence. So, you know, that's a big one, a real big one to take, especially considering the investment they had. Kyrgyzstan, that's got to hurt. Lose this round here, if that is to be the case. Economy broken, and we couldn't even talk about Kazakhstan getting map point, more or less, for free.
A lot slower from Kyrgyzstan, I think, knowing the stakes. They've just defaulted out. Players present everywhere. They did get a lot of control in middle. But this double layering, as well as the player and connector, they can just collapse on middle at any moment. But Amy able to get 2, so it's even trades in mid. Jamie does get Miyu. And Malinka, a massive lurk timing. That's brilliant. All this distraction in middle, she sees that as her opportunity to capitalize.
In towards Con. 3 versus 1, and you know these pop shots aren't doing all too much. And dead. Caught in rotation. Kyrgyzstan right back to their winning ways. A little bit of a hiccup against the lower buy, but you know, against that full buy, the fact that they get that, we got confidence booster. This is going to help. We are getting ever closer to this conversation about this game being tied up once again. Going to be a little bit of a hit to the econ. Going to be not exactly the nicest sort of investment coming through. So, doable affair, I think, is the way I'm putting this. 10-7. 3 rounds ahead, 3 rounds away, though, still, for Kazakhstan. Any slip-ups from Kyrgyzstan will get massively punished.
Thing is, only a single round for Kazakhstan on this CT side.
True.
So it's been a struggle. And that's a nice shot, though, from the Deagle. Falls back and more of a fight on site. This M4 that was saved over does get a kill. So this is where that fumble can happen. Can definitely get out of hand. Bomb has to be recovered. And that's an AK picked up as well for Pocha.
Jamming. Holding. Move in towards mid. 5v3. Not an easy one. That's for sure. Creeping up cat. Looks like they want to split it towards A. I mean, Molotov in towards window.
So many defenders.
Yeah, it's tough.
Jammy does catch out Pocha. And there's time left that they can kind of explore both sites. And actually, I think that kill is maybe everything. Ooh. Lana goes undetected. And Lana gets the double up. Had a quiet map, but 2 rounds that have been all her. And that's massive. I thought she was going to play Trigger Discipline and try and secure that double. But if you hit both shots, that'll do it. It looked like it was all going to fall apart. Pocha falls. They get a second on site. They can just walk in. But they don't clear Shadow. Not expecting that extra player. And it's enough. Kazakhstan on to 11.
Those are some seriously crisp Deagle shots as well. My, oh my. Kazakhstan. What a way. Again, you know, let's just stick on the pistols. That seems to be where they're doing their best work. They group up. The crossfire is pretty solid on towards site. You got one player playing backside towards Ninja, one on the wood, and one towards triple. I mean, there's so many bodies there, and it just makes it so difficult to burst out on. And the opening double as well, giving them the numbers advantage. Brilliantly done. Kyrgyzstan, another round lost, which arguably shouldn't have been. And if it wasn't for the case as well, we could be talking about them maybe even being on track to time this up. If not, having a lead. If they hadn't gifted over a couple. Swinging towards mid. Amy going to get caught. That's another big opener.
Both of the rounds that Kazakhstan have gotten the CT side have been low buys. It's crazy. This time, though, with the rifles, it looks like they will get it done regardless. MJ to Queen does a lot of work, and Jamie can't get that kill. That's an awkward angle to fight onto. So that is going to be map point for Kazakhstan, and without the bomb plant, Kyrgyzstan's money is not good. 2.5k each on the brink.
Yeah, let's say this one might not get off the ground here. We might have kind of broken the camel's back, I think, with those couple of low buy rounds. And of course, that one just there, like you said, the bomb pump would have facilitated at least a bit of a better investment. Maybe Galil's, Mac 10s, and Nuyuto and the rest. Even that is an absolute luxury here. 12-7, 5 map points to try and see this off. But they're going to go quick here, Kyrgyzstan. I don't blame them.
However, they go straight into the AK of MJ to Queen, who gets 2 before she's dealt with. Pocha hits 1 as well. And it's all down to Katarisi. This one looking like it's going to peter out, despite Kyrgyzstan looking very strong on this T side. A few rounds falter against the upgraded pistols, and it gives all the momentum that Kazakhstan need to take their map pick. Yeah,
really nicely done there by Kazakhstan. 9-3 half. Already basically laid the very strong foundations for that map going in their favor. And yeah, it struggled to get off the ground a little bit at the start, but once they won a couple of ones that they probably shouldn't have, is I think the way we'll put it, then they confirm things back into their favor. So nicely done, Kazakhstan. As we run through these highlights as well, you can just see how dominant it was. I mean, that T side was so fast. Like I said, was 8-0 up in 9 minutes of game time, which is kind of crazy. Slowed a little bit down into the second half, in all fairness, but a really good showing. Kyrgyzstan, I think, especially those first kind of 5, 6, 7 rounds, I think just shell-shocked by the pace at which Kazakhstan were bringing to the server. They were so rapidly getting fights done. I mean, taking aim duels and winning them normally within the first 10 to 15 seconds. Bomb was going down in about 30. It was crazy the tempo that they were playing at, and they were really kind of living and dying by that sword. And Kyrgyzstan just couldn't find a way to break them for such a long time.
Yeah, I think they really felt like they needed to take that fight in mid constantly, and when that wasn't working, they decided to play super passive instead, which then just gave Kazakhstan the control. I think what they really need to do is maybe look for space elsewhere, whether that's maybe a double up in towards ramp, or maybe going for a dual setup into apartments and slow pushing off the back of an AWP. These sort of different variations you can bring out, rather than going for just this fight up towards top mid. Hell, even going to underpass and do the boost. There's a few different things you can bring out to kind of punish this very heavy mid presence. So ultimately, I think the T side was great, even though they lost 2 rounds to the upgraded pistols, which if they hadn't lost, maybe we'd still be in the game. But ultimately, the big issue was they didn't get enough CT rounds.
Yeah, I think it's spot on. I think you're absolutely spot on. Yeah, when it came round to it, look where they left themselves. There's so little to work back on. A pistol was good. There was these little kind of maybe quote-unquote confidence boosters, at least in some of the individuals. Jammy, very good game from her coming through. 15 for Amy as well was pretty decent. And Katosi had a couple of moments. But yeah, those individuals towards Kazakhstan are so scary. 21 kills, 18 as well, 17 for MJ. I mean, that top 3 did so much work. And even kind of the quote-unquote big-name player of Potia didn't actually need to be called upon all that much, even when she had the AWP out.
Yeah, I felt like she was just rolling over, hitting every single shot in those first 8 rounds, and then kind of wasn't necessarily a big part of the rest of the game. Like, had a few good shots throughout, but it was mostly the riflers that were doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And I'm actually a little bit surprised that it was Avera that was the one that kind of ended up top of the scoreboard. I was thinking Miyu or MJ DeQueen was kind of the players I was looking to, but I guess they weren't that far behind. So it's when you got such a strong rifle core, and even Lana Banana, I know she's only got 8 kills, but the kill she got was so impactful, right? There was the Deagle round, there was also the hold that she pulled off solo, the clutch, in the post plant where she denied the bomb being defused, where she got the opening kill to allow the bomb to go down. There's just a lot of opportunities set up by these different players, so they really all showed up in the server in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's only map number 1. I know it felt pretty damn quick, but we're going to be rolling through into the second. It's Kyrgyzstan's pick at the very least, so maybe a bit more confidence heading onto it, but we're going to have to see whether that is the case. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw this onto a break. When we are back, hopefully in about 5 minutes or so, we're heading in towards map 2.
And we're back, guys, getting ready to jump into Anubis. And there's no Anubis in this server because we've seen some great Counter-Strike from both teams already. And this is, you like that one.
That's a really good one.
Pick of Kyrgyzstan. And it's interesting. I'm expecting, actually, now that we saw the kind of resurgence from the tail end of that map, that this is going to be a very competitive one.
I'm 100% stealing that. And I'm stealing that, no credit. Like half my tweets. I can't wait. Brilliant one, I gotta say. But I'm looking forward to this. Mirage was so quick in terms of how some of these rounds were played. I mean, like we said, kills being found in the first 10-15 seconds, bomb going down in, sub 30 in some instances. So many rushes coming through. Anubis has very similar vibes. Popping on towards B is so common. There's flashes that come over the top. Same thing on towards A as well. Pop flashes through the window. I'm expecting a really quick, but it's super fun, this style of play, because both sides are kind of matching each other. It's sort of, fight fire with fire type of style, and it makes it really enjoyable. There's no complaints about it. Kyrgyzstan, the big question from us, though, is can they respond now? Can they come in towards their map pick? Do they have an idea about how you stop what is this kind of freight train of Kazakhstan who are just barreling into each and every site? How do you stop them is the big thing for me. My assumption that Kyrgyzstan will be starting on that T side. That might give them a bit of something to work with. The T side was at least a little bit better, in my opinion, on towards Mirage. It looked fundamentally a little bit more sound. They were a little bit better when they were in control of the tempo. It was played to their pace. The CT side is the big worry I have for Kyrgyzstan, because they really did struggle.
Yeah, and Anubis is a much harder map to play on the CT side as well. We said earlier, if you have a good CT side, that's a difference maker. So, yeah, the T side might be strong, but if the CT side is similar to what it was on Mirage, which I worry about, because, I know that Mirage wasn't their map pick, but it's a map that you expect to play in these events, and it's a map that you should have the fundamentals of the CT side down pretty hard. And, the ideas were there, but they didn't have the responses to what Kazakhstan were putting on the table. They couldn't deal proactively with what they were putting out. So, it felt like they were always a step behind what Kazakhstan were putting forward. And that doesn't give me high hopes for their city side on Anubis. But, you know, I do think Anubis does play very similar to Mirage. And the fact that they get to stun that T side is huge for them.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. We're in for one of them. We're in for one of that. It's a ridiculous shot.
Any more? I put you special. They managed to jump past her bullets. So Jamie will get 1 and 2. And Jada Queen with the dualies dealt with in main. There's a second flank on its way.
Jamie, gonna hold for those rotations to come through. Lana will probably be that first fight. That's a freebie though, given over towards Miyu. As Amy gets caught, numbers kept level, but Jamie will answer back, looking for the second, and they'll get it. Kyrgyzstan, that's the start they needed. A pistol, a bomb plant, and a couple of people staying alive as well. That's all you can ask for. They were meant to get the first pistol in towards Mirage. They didn't, you hate to say it, off the back of their own mistake. This time, no mistakes. Take it. Jamie does really well. Party that first shot is lovely, in all fairness. Really, really nice shot. Couldn't find the second. There is something quite wonderful as well about watching AWPers on pistols. They're just, that first bullet accuracy is ridiculous. But yeah, wasn't able to double it down. Kyrgyzstan, big round for them to take. Absolutely necessary.
Yeah, that was really nice. Oh, even nicer. The Zeus in play. Now, the Zeus is sadly, in my eyes, fallen out of favor a little bit because of the range nerf. And one part of it, like this angle, I'm a bit of a Zeuser. I'm a big proponent of the Zeus. Oh, she's in the right spot. Oh, she got 2 ahead of it. That pause just before she swung around the corner. Pocha thought she could get ahead of it, and I don't blame her, but when they approach in the close angle, that's your only chance of getting the Zeus from that spot.
Now what? I mean, realistically, there's no fights to be taken in towards mid that are going to be favorable towards Kazakhstan. They're just hoping get a little fortunate. They go back towards B, but I don't think it's going to be the case. I'm going to go down in due time. Smoke will basically confirm their intentions. There's a question. Do you give this a go? More often than not, sometimes it's not the best thing to do just because if they have Mac 10s, they can farm cash bonus. There isn't, but we know that with our hindsight view, it's not something that Kazakhstan really know all too well about. Looks like they're going to opt for exit frags, which I'm not against.
Yeah, honestly, when you can get, we don't really have anything to gain from going for it with USPs. Like, you're not going to get the round. If you can get yourself an AK as they try and escape, much more valuable. Or even just removing rifles, but I don't think it's going to be the case. Amy's, I've been interested in watching Amy. I think she's been quite impressive across the first map, and shots there. It's a team that we're learning a lot about as we go. Definitely a lot of talent in the server.
Absolutely. First 4 buy going to come through in a second there from Kazakhstan, and an opportunity for them to respond to what has been some pretty quick, pretty aggro rounds coming out from the Kyrgyzstan roster. They want to try and hold them in their place, which is something that it took a while for Kazakhstan to do on that first map on their CT side. It was taking a while for them to get comfortable, I think, in terms of what the rotates were looking like, how they were playing off each other, how they're actually trying to stop aggression coming out. I mean, right now, Kyrgyzstan are more than happy just to play as his pack, and it's working. So, yeah.
Here's the thing, Nao. I think they need 8 rounds.
Kyrgyzstan need 8?
I think Kyrgyzstan need 8 to win this.
So it's a big ask, Lucy. It's a real big ask, but it's not a bad start because they're about to get a sight.
Although they don't continue pushing forward, so Iveri's been able to slink through camera, and she's doubled up. 100% needed to be traded there. Cannot believe that she's able to get away with the double. As soon as I said they needed 8, they start to falter.
You cursed them.
Yeah. Still way into it. No, it's not. 1 kill. But Iveri's there to collect a massive 3k from her in the round. That's huge.
That's a big round to take as well. It didn't start well for a second. You know, fight coming through in towards main that they lost, and I thought they were going to barrel in towards the site, but just not answer back well. Couple of kills in quick succession. Give them their necessary lead and their necessary numbers advantage to now start to work things in their favor again. Kyrgyzstan, that was a bonus. It's not really something to worry about too much in losing. Can't be a consistent factor, though. Need to see them come back in towards the AKs in this round, make it stick. In the flames, taking a decent amount of damage to get the nade off, which does nothing.
Yeah, that can always be the risk of middle, but the spam, not risky at all, gets a kill. And they're very fast to take the control of Dark in response. That's something for Kyrgyzstan. Like smoke, no one's going to be slinking through that one. Amy, though, wants to make the play out. Dark, and she's caught that timing as Miyu wanted to throw another set of flames. But further aggression in A main. Everywhere they go, there's a CT pushing. With Amy felled, it leads to Katosi, who is sitting outside, locked off by the smoke. Even has to walk all the way back around to Farmer to pick up the bomb. That's a lockout.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. Katosi, what do you even do here? I mean, you got in two minds of you try and save or before the time. Labor, but MJ will get it all the same. Only the one casualty for Kazakhstan as they tie this game right back up. No bomb plant last couple of rounds, and now we're talking about Kazakhstan back in towards their supremacy, back in towards the control of this game. And, you know, maybe that 8 you've asked for, Lucy, it's already looking like it might not be the case. I mean, that was like a bit of a fever dream, I think, right now for Kyrgyzstan. This round's a bit of a non-starter. No investment, so I'm not even really going to look into it. This should be Kazakhstan taking a pretty simple one-round lead.
All right, well, they need 7.
Okay.
I don't think 6 will be enough.
I agree. I agree.
I can't see that working out for them. 8's still doable. It's just going to be uphill. Burst through middle with the pistols. Not even upgraded ones, just the Glockeroonies. Knock, knock, open up the door. It's Glocks, and they're going to knock down Lana the banana. Make her split, but doesn't matter. Me, you. Hold on until the support arrives. So it's all good.
A little bit of a hold the breath kind of moment, but in the end, only the one casualty, so not the end of the world. 3-2, as expected. Kyrgyzstan back into the buy. These rounds are quick. Kazakhstan are taking fights early doors because they know they can. And I look towards Kyrgyzstan now, back on towards the AKs in a position where they cannot afford for Kazakhstan to keep spiraling the way they have. That's now 3 in quick succession. 3 in which they've built up some decent stability on that CT side. Not taking really too many casualties that is making their life, problematic or uncomfortable in terms of the econ. So, yeah, I need to see Kyrgyzstan competing early. In these next few gun rounds have to go their way.
Gotcha. Over the edge of the smoke. You get one onto Amy. The whole team grouped outside B. They just want to get straight into this bomb site. Lana Banana gets into jail. Fires up for M4, so she's let them know she's here. That might be a fatal mistake, but Miyu again alleviating the pressure, staying alive in dark, not being pincered, but Malinka gets 2 in her jaws. She has 2 more to find and 1 point of health to do it in. Surely not going to be possible. She walks to A through canals. That's her only way into this round. But the thing is, Kazakhstan know that's the only way she could have gone.
Yeah, absolutely. This is such a big ask. Flash and a nade. And now a molly, in all fairness, is going to get caught in rotation. Yes, is the answer. See, at the end there, Malinka does fall. 4-2 scoreline. 8's the best they can get. And it feels like an unlikely amount the more and more these rounds are played out. The second the guns have come out, there's only actually been 1 team in it. That's our 4 on the trot from Kazakhstan. And Kyrgyzstan back down to another low buy. And also 4 rounds in a row in which Kyrgyzstan haven't got a bomb plant out. That is hurting them. Now they've got Lost Runners built up. They've got it maxed out. They've got to get, even if they lose the round, they've got to at least get a bomb plant if they want to keep their econ alive. And it's not something that's happening right now. Looks like the Tech 9s though, loose. A quick play about to come through.
Pocha going to be put on notice. The flames forward. She sees 1. Plucks her out of the sky looking for more. But actually, Tech 9 runs her down. Jada Queen close by. Quick on the headshot. she's got support. She falls back to a safer angle. A vary from above will confirm it. Jamie does get one on the lurk and gets herself an M4. 1v2, doesn't even have armor behind this rifle. Drops the smoke. She still needs to get the bomb, so she can't even really leave, and they're just going to get aggressive pounce on her. So no bomb plan, but at the very least, Jamie kept money, extra money, so she can get an AWP into this round. And they inflicted a lot of damage. It might not matter, considering 3 players had over 10k before they bought into this round. But small wins.
Yeah, we take the little ones, the ones that might potentially help a little bit later down the line, but at least for now, 3-round buffer. Nice, comfortable spot that Kazakhstan find themselves in. Back into the investment. Jamie's going to pick up the AWP, try and challenge Rapotia, but it really is a lot harder on that T side. Set yourself up comfortably. It requires you to be super proactive. After a bit of a conversation too for Kyrgyzstan, I think they've realized how quickly they kind of lost control off the back of the strong start. We're already running out of opportunities for them to make this a competitive T-side on what is probably the only map in the pool that you can actually inherently call T-side as. At least statistically, the only one that really holds that sort of merit. So far, not so good. Back in towards the action. And a 5-2 scoreline into round number 8. Time is already feel like it's dwindling for Kyrgyzstan. I mean, Kazakhstan on their T-sides where they do all of their best work. They cannot allow Kazakhstan to go in towards that T-side, in towards that second half with any sort of a lead. If they do, they're already in trouble. Like I said, even 6 I don't think's enough.
Jamie was just holding the window. I wonder if there's an angle there where you can see the person throwing the HE from the top of the stair.
Oh, maybe.
I'll have to check that out. I've never seen someone holding that with the AWP at the start, but that'd be... I'll look that up later. That's really cool. Katosi does get an opening kill into Lada Banana, who was having a little look out, but not ready for Mir, who extends further. Amy, though, fast on the response. It's an advantage, and it's made double so. Kyrgyzstan need to capitalize on this.
They do. That's not the flying towards the fights. MJ gonna catch Malinka. That's a big one to find. Back into 2 versus 2. Watch it, a little slow on the rotation in doing so. Now left all alone.
They know where she was as well, because she got the kill onto the lurker at B main, so she no reason to be slow on the approach, and well, she is lightning fast on the jammy. And a 1v1. She has a smoke, even has a kit now, doesn't know where this final player is. Tap on the bomb, information gathered. Averona. Sorry, that's not her name at all. She's gonna win the clutch though. With the headshot onto Potchap. Got a little scary there. The HE doesn't actually make it onto the smoke. That's a little short. Potch's first kill, not enough to set up the second. Yeah,
they needed it, and they'll get it a little close, so maybe a little bit tighter than they probably would have wanted, but all they care is a round on the board, and a round which is an absolute necessity. And now this has to be a sign of things to come. That third that's put on there by Kyrgyzstan has to be a catalyst for further rounds coming forward. It can't just be a flash in the pan. It can't just be a one-off. And if it is, things get worse and worse. Oh, invested back in. Potcha picks it up and goes up in towards mid. This is a scary place to attempt to peek here, especially with no util. I don't think it's even worth the jiggle.
Listen, 7 is still possible. Low on the smoke, but support for Potcha. Drop spotted. Amy wins that one from behind the smoke. Interesting decision to drop out a window. Amy just gonna get a double up. So again, a big advantage. And again, Kyrgyzstan gonna make sure they're able to capitalize and not give away the freebies, because they've given one away and they've given another. Anytime they open the door, it's slammed shut in their face. Potcha's holding this line. She has a player behind her. But a smoke landing in dark is going to lock them both out.
They do get that bomb down. A lot of damage has been dealt. 2 of them low, but same contender towards Potcha, and they might actually just call this. I think, by the looks of it, Potcha's already out of there. Tail between her legs. She does not want to even test this. It's not really worth it. Exits, I think, is probably the call. I mean, he's having a little look, so there might be a world that actually there's a guy. I thought they were going for a full save, but she's rotated back over. She will get one. That's huge, but now that she's all that's left, not even worth it.
Yeah, it relied on MJ to Queen getting one there. But Pocha caused the distraction with that shot with the AWP, and because she'd been in dark, you're maybe not expecting MJ to Queen to be there, but she's caught as she tries to find that fight from dark. So Kazakhstan do capitalize. Again, though, it's one of these rounds where they get two really nice opening kills, and then it gets way too close. It comes down. It was a 3-on-3 at one stage for a second there. So yeah. It's rounds that should be easy that become a little bit more difficult than they need to.
Yeah, no, I think you are absolutely spot on. They're in a spot where I think they're making them harder than they need to be. The thing that we can say and be happy about is 7 still possibility. That's the bare minimum we've kind of put down for Kyrgyzstan. Any less, we get a little concerned. So right now, we're not, at least for the moment. Shadow spotted. Oh, yeah. Oh, they nearly line up as well. But the first, and especially because it's jammy, it's so important.
Oh, aggression out A main. And it's another kill. This is huge, though. Malinka is able to get one back. Stops us getting 2 out of hand, but it still can get a little hairy. Where's this AWP? Mew's going to fall back. The T's can group together, you imagine, in a moment. Bomb picked up. Player plucked. But Pocha can still be the one that ruins it. She drops the bomb and she knows where the final player is. That's a DC'd player right there, not a real body. A little bit funky, whatever happened in that moment. Regardless, it's Kyrgyzstan taking the round.
So that's a tough way to lose a round, or I guess win it on the other side. But all that matters is Kyrgyzstan take it. You have, of course, Tosi out. I'm assuming the tech will be called in just a second, but hopefully get it back in as soon as 5-all though. Good recovery from Kyrgyzstan in an absolute necessity of a way. There isn't, I mean, there's enough to buy here for Kyrgyzstan, not enough long term. So it actually makes these final couple of rounds very interesting. Both sides don't actually have the most stable of econs, nothing long term really. So technically, in a way, you could talk about maybe potentially even winning round number 11, being a bit of a 2-for-1 special, kind of getting round number 12, or at least advantages in towards round number 12 as well. So that could be a big thing for me in this next round. Xerxes back in the server, which is good, and I'm bought up 2, so all well and good. But this round number 11, this penultimate one of the half, could be the big one. Could be the one that decides potentially even who takes that 7-5 lead, because you're going to really hurt them over on the other side. I think we are just waiting for now. MJ the Queen was Kazakhstan. She hasn't bought yet. Hasn't moved or anything. So maybe an issue on that side. But yeah, I think that's what I'm looking at. Time is done. So it looks like we're ready to get things going. This is a big one. This is a big little swing round for the tail end of the half.
Yeah, and I mean, the reason that we're in that position is because Kyrgyzstan in all these rounds, even when it's up against Light of Eyes, it's gotten too close. All these rounds where they've had the advantage early or they've had the advantage in weaponry, it's come down to a 2v1 or a 1v1. And Pocha, another opening kill for her. Anubis, her playground. I don't think she's done yet just yet. She's going to drop into canals. Wanting to do this single-handedly, and yeah, you're not expecting her to be there. That's absurd.
I have to have, I have to really applaud and commend just the brazenness of some of these peaks, some of these positions, and the bomb as well is a big thing, and probably another kill to come with it. That's a beautiful reaction on that shot. Pop flashes, she 1 second, doesn't actually catch Jammy though.
Yeah, Jammy's in T-spawn with an AWP. That's not a position you want to find yourself in, and she's not going to be allowed to do any further damage. So that dream of 7 is going to be denied, as Kazakhstan will get a minimum 6. And as you mentioned, Neo, look at that money for Kyrgyzstan. It is in the absolute dumps. The best weapon they're going to get out is this Galil that Malinka bought.
Yeah, I hate to say it. It's just the unfortunate case of how the economic state, it was for both of these sides. Whoever loses that, and I think obviously more damning towards Kyrgyzstan if they can't get a bomb plant, and they don't, so made worse. Pocha, really, really good individual prowess though. It's such kind of a big call, so audacious, and it's worked. I just start off this round well.
Banana doubles up off the back of that first kill from Pocha, who, if we had the opening kill stats, I would 100% say she's won every single opening duel she's gone for. and has been the person making almost every opening door. And that is a beautiful way to end the half. MJ to Queen lines them up, knocks them down, and it is a 7-5 half, but it goes the way of the CTs. Kazakhstan will have the advantage going into the T side.
Yeah, this is a big one. You know, you kind of said it. I think anything less than 7 for Kyrgyzstan is putting them in a worrying spot. At least now, the one little saving grace that I have is they've got to get a pistol. If Kyrgyzstan get a pistol, they can maybe start to spiral in here and you know, tie the game up, start that gun round in kind of a positive fashion. But it's still big asks for me. It still requires quite a lot. Kazakhstan, the lead off the back of their CT, get a pistol. We could potentially already be talking about maybe even the beginning of the end in the map and the series. Let's take a look and see. They're barreling in towards mid.
Yeah, they're going with some serious pace, and response from Kyrgyzstan is to take the control at A main. So they're allowed into the A bomb site, and they're allowed to get the bomb down. So it's going to be the full 5-on-5 retake. Now, there's not a kid in play. Amy dropped dual Berettas. She still gets the headshot with the USP. Has a flash if she wants to use it to set up the team, but we're going to continue to contact through. Pocha with the Glock, looking for that second kill. It eludes her. Olinka's able to get a double, but the support is there. It's MJ to Queen with a double. Ivera with 2 as well, and Kazakhstan with the pistol.
Really, really nice pistol as well. I mean, unfortunately, MJ gets caught, but it's a small thing that ultimately really doesn't make too big of a difference. So, an 8-5 scoreline now, and this could already start to spell potentially even the beginning of the end with Kazakhstan on that C side, aggro and so happy to take fights, so up for that duel. That's where they do their best work. That's where they did their best work on Mirage as well. They gifted them that 9-3 half, and it could potentially even be more of the same. So, Kyrgyzstan, they've opted for the force buy. Let's see if this one works out for them.
Well, they're not on A, so spoilers, Nair. It's not going to work out great for them. I'm going to tell you right now. The bomb's planted, and it's a 5-on-4, 5-on-3. The force buy is forced out the door. Goodbye.
Yeah, no, I like that. MP9 will cash Lana the banana, but it won't make too big of a difference, really. And the exits are taken with kind of open arms, in all fairness. Potentially even upgrades as well if Galil maybe overfaces. I don't think it's going to be the case. The Maxton's going to still continue running around looking for some fights. Might just get them, and actually won't. MJ will fall. At the very least, though, the rifles get the live. That's really all that matters. They can buy back in. And same for Kyrgyzstan, in all fairness. 3 staying alive means a reinvestment back in that you could actually go for here. You actually drop over another couple of MP9s and just have it 5 across the board. There's a couple of different mindsets about it. But I think with 3 staying alive, in my eyes, you may as well force buy back in, or at least get upgraded pistols at kind of a bare minimum. And yeah, they actually are going to do that. Rifle picked up. MP9 will be dropped with Jammy. Katoshi going to pick up the M4. And I'm assuming Amy gets something, maybe not dropped over, but invested in. Maybe an MP9 as well. Maybe upgraded pistol if she wants a little bit more utility and a kit and the rest. Going to join with the MP9s. It's not actually a terrible buy for Kyrgyzstan in this one, but it is still Kazakhstan on the brink of double digits and doubling the scoreline as well of their opponents, putting them ever closer towards taking this series.
They just gotten 1 rifle from that last round. This would have felt a lot better, but 4 MP9s, yeah. Oh, it doesn't feel great. Especially when you got your M4 without head armor. That's spooky. I'd still let HE in by head armor. Like, I don't think the HE is worth the risk of dying because a Mac 10 is taking your head off, or a Galil. Just my 2 cents. Anyway, they've kept a bit of extra money for a later round, but they lose this one, there won't be that many later rounds.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was water. That's been heard. Mac 10 flying around the corner will find the kill. That's a good opener.
Straight in. And, well... Okay, hold that. It's not done yet. But it might be. In the M4 that was invested in. Yeah, just... I mean, I like it from Kazakhstan. Just put the pace on. Don't allow them to do much here. At most, right, they've got either the saved MP9s or they're forced around it like they did, and you've still got the weaponry advantage. And if you go with pace, you can catch them off guard before they can even feel comfortable setting up. There's not been any need for conditioning yet on this T side, so Kyrgyzstan don't know the best way to set up their defense based on what Kazakhstan have been doing so far. So it's not like they're going to have necessarily a stack in play or, you know, a really strong defensive setup. So they just run through and run them over.
And I can't blame them. Yeah, I think it's the right call. 10-5 now, though. And this time, again, we could talk about kind of investments coming through, but time is seriously dwindling over towards this Kyrgyzstan roster. They really are giving themselves a lot to work with. I mean, we're looking at this now. We've doubled the rounds of their opponent. Kaz are only 3 away, and so much stability built up. The T side are scary as ever. It feels like we're on track to seeing this one off. Little bit of an investment coming through. Not an over-investment, though. We've got 1 rifle, 2 MP9s, 2 upgraded pistols. It's small. It might still be scary. They can't completely overlook it this time, but they've been so confident. They're so happy to continue using these MAC-10s because they're just so scary.
Gonna burst through the smoke, but double layering means Jamie gets that kill easily enough. They're not going to commit off it. See if it makes any of these remaining CTs move about. This isn't the full investment. It's safe weaponry. Why to buy? But an opening kill feels good. But only if you can capitalize on it. And the decision to go back to B is perfect. They saw the M4 in play. Managed to avoid it really well. But Jamie will get a kill back. So now the running get. Kit dropped in dark. But so are 2 players. And Jamie might get another one. He's getting desperate. Poch is low. So there's certainly a way for her to pull off this clutch. Remember that kit in dark that she needs to get to for the defuse. And double layering should be enough. Poch up. Another massive round from her. 3k in it. She has a 3.0 KD.
Wow.
And it's 11 on the board for Kazakhstan.
Yeah, Poch is having an absolute field day. Was it, you know, even, I think probably by her standards, maybe a little bit quieter until map number 1, but wasn't required. It wasn't like they needed her to kind of be pulling up these ridiculous performances, and they don't even really need it now, but she's just so damn crisp. Really well kind of achieved in some of these rounds as well, where they're just not even giving a chance over towards Kyrgyzstan. 11-5, and potentially, Lucy, this could be even the final full buy. We've got a little bit of leftover money. It's not the greatest, and a big swinger towards water gets the first.
Yeah, I like that, but overextending a little bit, staying active, allows Pocher to get a kill back in their favor. So 4-on-4. And very quick positioning in middle. Keep your eyes on her as she's managed to cut off the rotations. Just the 2 players on site. However, the bomb is very separate. Surely going to have to go through middle. There's a massive timing. But I think Jamie has just missed that player with the bomb.
Ooh.
Might not even matter. They have managed to hold on to the A side, at least for now. Back of cake. A massive kill for Aksarovs. She managed to hold on with a double. And it leaves it to Lana. Banana. She can't get it done. So Kyrgyzstan will get their first CT round. Off the back of that double dark peak. And then a good defense on A.
Yeah, you know, it's a brief sigh of relief where they're, you know, far from done in this map, in this series. Still requires some heroics. They're still 5 rounds behind in the hole, and, you know, a little bit of a lesser investment maybe here from Kazakhstan gives them a chance. Double AK, triple AK, in fact. It's a full buy across 2, but not the team, which is maybe a little bit of a kind of weird one. Mirage has 4.1k in the back pocket, so some of them have money left over, some of them don't, but they're going to go quick.
Really quick. And a double layering, not going to matter. The MAC-10s eviscerate these head armorless chickens. They even get a follow-up. Run down by the Mackies, upgraded into AKs. That's a 2-on-4. 2 players so low. Lana Banana has a single point of health, but there's just no way of getting into this bomb site. So it's just a fast A play, and it's going to get 12 on the board. Series point for Kazakhstan.
And with that buy as well, I think that's absolutely the call to make. You know, they've got a few AKs, a few MAC-10s, but not an over-investment. The big thing for them is about getting a bomb down at kind of the bare minimum. and they do that and some. 2 mining rifles. Thankfully, they can have some level of a buy around it. At least, you know, Jammy can invest in, which is fine. Drops can come through from Amy and Katosi. Maybe not the best drops, better than nothing. But, yeah, time is going from the Virgin quickly running out to ran out, in all fairness. 12-6. Again, 6 map and series points in a series which is so influential. These are 2 of the scarier sides in this qualifier. Arguably the 2 favorites in this qualifier as well. And man, this could be the difference maker. Kyrgyzstan, unfortunately for them, on towards their own map pick, they've just not ever really been able to get going. A little bit of the starting towards the very start of the map, but bar that, no consistency, not enough in which has given them the comfort of getting in towards this and being able to compete in Kazakhstan. They might just go quick once again.
Yeah. Again, that old adage. Straight in, potch up, overwhelms the link up. They're not going to slow down, not for nobody. MJ the Queen gets the follow-up, and yeah, you're at the player disadvantage. You have 2 players start there. You need to get 2 kills, ultimately, at the very minimum. Or to stop them getting in completely, but MJ the Queen is going to stop them in this retake. It's all under Amy. 1 versus 4. They know where she is, and they deal with her. Kazakhstan will win it out in a 2-0 fashion over Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah, what a series. So quick, so aggro, and for the most part, basically perfect as well. We saw just how good this Kazakhstan side are, and this is a team that now, if they are to qualify towards Chengdu, have to be absolutely feared at that LAN. They looked brilliant all the way through. Very few weaknesses. Maybe the only thing you could talk about is at times when they are winning, they get too confident, but, you know, you only get too confident when you are winning by such a margin, and that's what we saw from Kazakhstan. We'll take a look through some of these highlights of just what was a seriously quick but super efficient game of Counter-Strike. And in this series as well, now Kazakhstan have really opened the eyes. I think a lot of teams, from other qualifiers as well, who potentially will be going towards Chengdu, they've got to be pretty scared of this side. They look brilliant.
Yeah, Pot just started this map how she intends to go along with that first tap in middle. She ended up having an insane map, and that's that star power that this team has, and you know that's why they came into the favorites. And you know, it's one thing to have all the firepower, but you need the synergy as well. You need the team play, and it felt like they did have that. It felt like the calls are very clean. I think the mid rounding, when it was needed, looked okay. I don't think we really got to see a lot of it because the rounds were very fast. It really felt, particularly on the T side, on both maps. It was essentially, we're going to move as a pack. Sometimes there was a default, and, you know, the default actually looked pretty decent. You know, we saw some good lurk timings, for instance, on Mirage. On this map, though, the T side was just working the way that however they wanted to do. You know, whether that was moving as a pack in towards A, whether it was splitting, they often were able to get really good mid timings as well. It was a really nice to see, you know, because this wasn't their map pick. So to see them showing a pretty good level on 2 maps. In fact, this one was more dominant than their own map pick. Is a really good sign for this team.
And honestly as well, I think now starting to show just actually how deep the map pool probably goes for Kazakhstan as well. That's 2 maps that they're more than comfortable on. I'm assuming by the way they're playing as well, maps like Inferno will be very similar, Ancient, kind of the same vibes, where because of how strong they are in terms of their aim, and you can see the setups are really solid as well, they probably won't have any sort of problems on them. Potya, I mean, 24 kills, 9 deaths, a ridiculous showing individually. So crisp all the way through, but not bad from MJ either. I mean, she had a couple of really key moments for me, which was super, super important. Yeah, Kazakhstan, that's a big best of 3 to be taken. Kyrgyzstan, unfortunately, they had their moments, these kind of flash in the pan individuals who kind of were able to shine at times, but that's the thing, it was a flash in the pan. It wasn't consistent. They weren't able to put consecutive rounds on the board, and they weren't able to really make this as competitive, I think, as probably they would have hoped. Yeah,
I think we definitely saw the individuals stepping up at times, but this was definitely a situation where the favorites came through and were rightly so the favorites. Kyrgyzstan definitely had some decent ideas, but that T side just needed some more going, and then it just felt like they were just losing those duels on the C side ultimately. And you got to win them, especially when you're holding 2 players on A. You need to be able to deal with a rush. That's why you've got 2 players there specifically for that, because normally you only have 1 player start A. But if you're holding 2 there, that means you're ready for aggression. So you need to be actually ready when it comes through couldn't hold out against a team with a lot of firepower, but so be it for Kyrgyzstan. This is a bit of a round robin situation, so there is going to be more opportunities for them, but a lot of their fate is going to depend on how Kazakhstan play, because if they don't lose another map or another series, then there's a good chance they're the ones that go through. Yeah, exactly. If there's an upset down the line, maybe it might not actually be Kazakhstan, but that it's such a big one for them to be taken. Just an update as well on the other game while we're waiting for that interview to be ready to go. Turkmenistan took map number 1 over Uzbekistan 13-4. So that one was pretty one-sided as well. So maybe keep an eye on Turkmenistan and we'll see how they play out. But I think we have our interview ready. We're going to be joined by Potya off the back of what was an incredible map number 2. So it'll be cool to speak to her, see how she's doing, how she's feeling off the back of what was an incredible series of Counter-Strike. Yeah, we're jumping over to Potya. Hello, Potya. How are you doing?
Hello, Lucy. Hello, Netkaya. I'm feeling good. How I can feeling? Of course, good.
Yeah, you played exceptionally. I wanted to start by asking a little bit about how this team came together. Obviously, a few of you have played together before. How did you go about getting everyone into this team?
I'm sorry for my English because I maybe don't understand something correctly. We are not playing like a team, we are just little mix. We training probably one week, yes, in 1 week before to start this qualification. And I think we have a good work. I mean, we have a 5 map right now. I mean, we can play 5 map right now. It's good for 1 week.
Yeah, that's really, really solid. I want to also, obviously it's not confirmed yet, but that's a big win to take. They're a very solid side, and potentially you guys might even be the favorites in this qualifier. What would it mean to qualify to Chengdu, to qualify for the LAN? What would it mean for you girls?
I think we win these qualifications and come to China.
Do you think that you'll be able to do the full run and potentially qualify to the global finals in Riyadh at the end of the year?
Yeah, I think we're more better than all team right now. I mean, in our qualifications.
Okay, and I guess...
certainly shown it.
Yeah, I'm going to say, when it gets to, if you are to make it to China, is there any other countries that you're maybe keeping an eye on that might be quite scary?
When we're starting first pistols round, yeah, we really little scary because we have a little touch problems. We can go to connector to connecting to the server, yeah, and we don't have a good warm up. But when we take first round, I say, girl, shh, we win. It's okay, and we just like enroll, just win. It's all. Sometimes we. I don't know how to explain funny and we're losing the round, but it's a good. It's not a big problem.
Yeah, you can definitely rely on your individuals as we saw today. So, well, thank you so much for joining us, Potya, and again, well done on the win. And yeah, good luck with the rest of your games, and hopefully we'll see you in Chengdu.
Thank you so much. I think we are have a meet one more time.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Potya, and yeah, well, great to talk to her.
Yeah.
Always cool to chat to players like Potya, because we don't always get to talk to some of these players, and I think she's got a lot of insight, and yeah, just lovely to talk to.
Yeah, and also, especially after you've just come off the back of dominating the series, especially map number 2, it's always kind of good to catch them in high spirits as well. And we kind of already said, that's such a big game to be taking. There's such a difficult side. The previous champions, or I guess the representatives from this region. So you've already arguably scalped the most fearsome opponents. So for Kazakhstan, they put themselves into such a strong position. There's 2 of the teams that aren't on stream currently playing now, which is Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. We have to keep an eye out for that, but I think Kazakhstan winning that, it gets them very, very close now. Even a world in which if they even win just one more best of 3 off the back of round difference, they can probably even just qualify. So really good to see. They're obviously feeling very confident, as we kind of just heard her say as well. She doesn't think there's going to be any competition. So that's positive signs. If someone's feeling that confident, you can't really complain.
yeah, I'm excited to see, if they are the team that makes the Chengdu, how they stack up against the other teams, because we've had some great teams make it through. Just a wrap up of who we had today. We had Hong Kong, China win out earlier, the first game of the day they've gone through. Then we had Vietnam in an upset win over Malaysia. So that's another team that's joining the winner of the Central Asia area, plus Australia, who are already there. India and China, obviously, as the host nation. So a stacked lineup at Chengdu. That final spot's going to be decided in the games that are happening off stream. There's still a bit of a round robin with those last remaining teams. As I said, Kazakhstan's probably the favorite, but anything could happen. So make sure you go to IESF.gg to keep an eye on those final games as they play out. But for now, that's all of the Counter-Strike action for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And make sure you come back tomorrow, because there's always Counter-Strike happening here on IESF.